Veritas family. Thank you so much for joining us at Give and Take. I'm Sherry Davis, and today I am joined by April Howze. Hi, April.
Hi,
We are glad to have you today. Thanks for carving out the time to join us.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. If you are watching live or in replay, be sure to tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. April, as you know, we love to ask our guests, what is your Veritas origin story? So tell us how you became a part of the Veritas family.
Absolutely. Well, I had actually heard of Veritas before I was involved. Several of my friends were teachers for Veritas, and I was an English teacher. And it just so happened that they needed a teacher to start doing English education. And I said, "Ooh, I think I can do that. Yeah, absolutely." So I started teaching for Veritas.
Okay.
I teach English education classes. And then, just as a plug for the program, a few years ago, we had our Doctor of Ed program launched. And I'll tell you that quick story because it's something, it's definitely a God thing.
Oh, let's hear it.
I was listening to our faculty meeting, and they said we have a big announcement to make. And I was like, "Ooh, what's the announcement?" I was all excited. I was like, "What are we announcing?" And they told me, they told everybody about the Doctor of Ed program. And
Hmm.
immediately the Lord was like, "Oop, you need to listen." And I thought, "No, I don't want a doctorate. I
Yeah.
don't need a doctorate. I don't, that's just not something that's on my radar." So it kept bothering me, and I thought, I'll fix this. So I texted Dr. Joyner,
Uh-huh.
who was making the announcement, and I said, "Hey, because I teach here, I can't be involved in it, right?" And she said, "Actually,
Yeah.
you absolutely can."
Uh-huh.
And so then I said, "I'll pray about it for a week." Really not intending to do anything with it. I thought, I'll pray about it, make myself feel a little better, and it'll be gone.
Right.
Most miserable week of my life. um, I was just miserable because I knew from the very beginning that God wanted me to do this, and I didn't know why. I still don't know why, to be honest. But that Friday, I had told her I would text her on Saturday. It would be a week on Saturday. I texted her on Friday because I was so tired of fighting. I was like, I've gotta just tell her. So I texted her, said, "Send me the link. I'm
Oh,
just."
I love it. Hey, and real quick, I'm going to interrupt you because she popped on here. Lisa says, "Hi, April. Kayla and Ryland are here right with me."
Oh,
Welcome. Thanks, Lisa,
hi, you
for popping
guys.
in. She must have had ESP. Her ears were burning. She was hearing us talk about her. So,
Absolutely. So that's how I got involved with that. And if you are looking for a good Doctor of Ed program, Veritas has one. So
you know
come
what?
on.
Good promo right there. We don't have to go any further. That's the good sound bite you needed to hear.
There we go.
I so appreciate about that story is that you had a little bit of a Jonah moment there, like running to Nineveh, and it was the worst week of your life. This idea that it was so, that the Lord was having you do this, and you still don't even know why, feel compelled, but you did it. The first, it's interesting that I was going to say that the text that you made to her right to Lisa right away, it's almost like betraying you a little bit because you didn't want to do it, but you
Yeah.
knew there was a part of you like maybe I should check into it. And that I think was the catalyst there.
I
That's fun
wanted
to
I
hear.
wanted the relief from that feeling. And so I
Yeah,
thought, well, if she says no, then I don't need to do it.
that's right. And I'm off the hook. That's
Yeah,
exactly right. So Lisa, you saved her. She's in the Lord's will because you saved her from herself. I love that. That's so
absolutely.
fun. We've got Twisigome Way. I know I butchered that, watching from Uganda. Thanks for popping in today. Uh,
Hi.
April, tell us where you are located and what you do at your ministry.
I am at Wake Christian Academy in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am a middle and high school Bible, drama, and broadcast journalism teacher. I also am the academic coordinator for the school, and I am the fine arts director for the school. So I'm quite busy here.
You sound like many Christian school teachers with 1,000 hats,
Yes.
wearing all the hats, all the busyness, all the things. Um, and tell us real quick, you told us that you're an English education faculty with Veritas, but you also, I don't know if you mentioned this, that you're part of the writing lab.
I haven't mentioned that. I'm over the writing lab, and it's fantastic. Anybody can come and they can ask questions, they can email, they can do all of that, and I can help you on papers or starting a paper or whatever you need.
That's what I wanted to hear. Is it open to everyone? And what kind of services do you offer? Because the idea sometimes, especially in an online environment, when you don't really have an office to go into to ask for help, and maybe, they want to supplement what they're doing in their actual classes. If you didn't know and you're watching this and you're a student, just know that there is the resource of the Writing Lab. April Howze facilitates that. She'd be happy to hear from you. And we're excited that you're a part of the team in that way. So, April, tell us what's on your heart. We're gonna dive into our Ministry Matters segment, which is just we just like to hear what people are what the Lord is working in their lives about. We got Ann Real watching from Kentucky. Hey, Ann, thanks for jumping in.
Hi, Anne.
Um, yeah, tell us what's on your heart today. What can the community learn from you?
Well, I will tell you, there are certain things that in ministry just keep popping up, right? That you use continually over and over and over again. And about 15 years ago, this concept was introduced to me in this way, and I thought, oh man, that is something that I really would like to kind of grasp and really implement into my ministry. My administrator, the very first day of in service, he talked about walking through the crowd slowly, how Jesus would walk through the crowd slowly. And that was our theme for that year. And it changed how I approached ministry. It changed
Hmm.
how I approached teaching. And so through the years, I have developed that a little bit more, past that, and just really personalized it. And so if you will just let me talk about it for a little bit.
Yes,
Um,
I'm eager because I feel like this is going to be something so needed, but by your title, my mind is going in a couple of different directions. So I'm eager to see how you move forward. Hey, Juliana. Juliana is watching from Jordan, so we're glad to have
oh,
her pop in today.
wow.
Yeah,
Welcome. Thank you for
very
watching.
good. Yeah, I'm interested to hear what direction you're going with this.
Well, let me read you the passage that it comes from. Matthew 9:20 through 22.
Okay.
And a woman who had been suffering from a hemorrhage for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe of his cloak. For she was saying to herself, if I only touch his garment, I will
Mm,
get well.
mm,
But Jesus, turning and seeing her, said, daughter, take courage. Your faith has made you well.
mm,
At once, the woman was made well.
mm.
And when you look at that and I would ask you to use your sanctified imagination just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's Jesus. He's walking through this crowd. Everyone's pushing at him. The disciples are kind of surrounding him, almost like his secret service, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking through this crowd. And if we really think about it, Jesus was the most busy of all of us
Yeah.
ever. He knew he had a limited time here on earth, and he had so much to accomplish and so much to do. Think of all the people that wanted to see Jesus.
Mm,
Whenever we go to school, sometimes we feel like, as teachers, we feel like everyone wants a little piece of us.
mm.
And as students, because I'm on both sides of that, because I'm a student at Veritas
Right.
too. And as a student, sometimes I feel like everyone wants a little piece of me,
Yeah.
and it kind of stresses us out, right? Of, oh man, I have so much to do and so much to think about and so much to accomplish. And so our temptation is to, whenever, let's say that I have 5 minutes to get from one place to the other and I need to go make copies because I forgot. And so
Mhm.
I am running to the copy room to go make copies and then running back. So what am I doing through the hallways? I'm running. I'm not looking around. I'm not looking at the students. I'm not looking at the other teachers. I'm not thinking about everybody who is around me. I am literally thinking, I've got to go do what I have to do and
Mhm.
get back. And unfortunately, even whenever we don't have a limited amount of time, a lot of times we do that. We rush different places, we go different places, and all we're thinking about is what I have to do.
Yeah.
And whenever you look at Jesus' example, he had more to do than any of us. And using your sanctified imagination, think about that he's walking through this crowd and all the disciples around him, and he stops
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Who touched me?" And
Mm.
his disciples are probably like, "Are you kidding? Everybody,
Everyone's
everybody
touching
is.
you. Yes.
Everybody's trying to reach out and touch you." But
Right.
he knew exactly who needed him at that point.
That's
And he
right.
turns around. And, our students
Yeah.
need us all the time.
Boy,
But
that's
a
good.
lot of them aren't going to come and say,
Mm.
"Hey, I need you. I
Mm.
need to talk to you. I'm having a really hard time. I'm having a really hard day. I need advice. I need counsel. I need whatever."
Mm.
They don't do that. A lot of them will shy back, or they'll say, like this woman, if I can just be around her, if I can just get her to talk to me for a little bit, if I can, as the woman said, just touch the cloak of his garment.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. All she needed to do was touch him, she
Mm.
thought, and that would heal her.
Yeah.
And when he turned around, he addressed it and
Mm-hmm.
said, "Your faith
Mm-hmm.
has healed you."
Yeah.
And we are not Jesus. We are nowhere close.
That's right.
And whenever we're walking through these classrooms, these kids need us.
Yeah.
They need to be able to look at us and know that we will take the time. We'll take the
Yeah.
time, maybe just to smile at them, maybe
Yeah.
just to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
you seem down. Are you okay?" They might be waiting for that question. They might not have shared it at all. And they might be waiting for that question. I had a kid several years ago who I've always tried to use this since, and I saw this kid and he wasn't acting himself, and
Mm-hmm.
I was busy, but I purposefully stopped
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at him and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And he got real serious. He was a senior, so they don't get serious a lot,
Yes.
but he got real serious and said, "My grandpa died last night."
Oh,
And I thought, "Oh," and he hadn't told anyone, not yet. He
boy.
couldn't. He felt like he couldn't verbally say that yet.
Right.
And so I kind of talked to him and then was able to pass that on to another staff member who was able to take the time with him.
Yeah.
But and I look at that and go, how many more do I miss?
Right.
How many do I miss
It's a
that
good point.
I'm rushing around and not asking them, "Hey, are you
Yeah.
okay?" Or, "Hey, how's your day going?" Or
Yeah.
whatever. And I feel like that's something that Jesus exemplified for us
Yeah.
with that woman, and just to slow down and say, "Okay, you know what? Yes, we are all busy. We are." And there are days when I look at my list and I go, "I don't have enough hours in that day."
Yeah.
I know I don't.
That's right.
But what's more important? And
I think you're exactly right. Lisa popped on, says, walk through the clouds slowly. She says, I love that. She says, um, um, the sheep should smell like the sheep. The
mm,
shepherd should smell like the sheep, which is
yes.
such a great picture of you got to get in there and get your hands dirty. And the fact
Mhm.
that if we are too busy to notice our sphere of influence, then we're too busy. I mean,
Yes,
otherwise, what's the point of what we're doing? What's the
exactly.
point of the whole thing that we're doing if we're not actually seeing? Have you seen those? They'll sometimes do these perception videos, and they'll have you watch a video and they'll say, did you see the brown bear with the blue hat walking through the background? And you're like, man, no, I missed it. And then you watch the video back and then you're like, oh my goodness, there it was. It was totally there, but I never saw it. It's because we weren't looking for it. So the
Yes.
idea is it's such a beautiful picture of Jesus looking for these people that needed him, and we have to be able to visualize and be able to look for people who are hurting, who might need help, who need the extra encouragement. It takes
Mhm.
time out of our busy day for sure, but that is the point. It's the whole point. Brother Wagner popped in. He says he's watching from Winston-Salem, not too far
Oh,
from you. Anne says, yes, don't wait for others to reach out to us. If we're not spirit led, we will miss these opportunities to minister to others. And it's such a blessing to those of us who um, or impact, right? Like you can see and feel those things that might be different. But if you don't intentionally look for it, boy, you'll miss it and you'll miss those opportunities every time. That is powerful stuff, April. I'm so glad you brought that today. And I think I cut you off a
Especially,
little bit, so you might have had more, but was there more?
no, you're good. You're good. I especially enjoy in that picture that Jesus has given us and painted for us that there's so many other people in that crowd that are pressing
Yeah,
towards him.
yeah,
And when we walk into a classroom, we have so many people pressing towards us, right? And it's easy just to answer those questions. It's easy just to pay attention to those kids. And a lot of times those kids are the same kids every day. They're the
that's right.
ones that want our attention. And I'm not saying don't give them the attention
That's
because
right.
they need that too.
That's right.
But sometimes we have to look past that and beyond the ones that are up at the desk.
That's right.
Um, just just today, I walked into my last class that I was in today and walked in, and there were four girls at my desk, all asking a million and a half questions.
Yep.
And I and of course I answered them and said, "Okay, girls, you got to sit down. I got to see everybody else too,"
Right. Yes.
because out of the 18, I was literally only seeing four,
Yep.
and those. So you have to do it on purpose.
That's right.
And sometimes it's in the hallway, sometimes it's in your classroom, sometimes it's after school, and you look at who's going home happy and who's going home looking like I can't wait to get in that car and get away. um so or those who are looking like I really don't want to get in that car. So
Yes, that's right.
you
Those are good clues as well, because it probably explains a lot of what you're seeing in the classroom based on what might be happening at home.
yes.
Those principles translate across the board. Like if you're in a ministry, I use that similarly to our team who is watching here. Sometimes you have those that you are very familiar with or very out there with their feelings. You kind of know every little bit of the things that they're thinking about and feeling. Sometimes it's the ones who are just going to be very laid back, who do still need you, but they're just not sure how to communicate that to you. And so it's such a great leadership principle to be able to think into that, speak into that. Like, this seems a little bit of a more strange behavior than I've seen, or it's a little out of character for them to be doing this or that, and to be able to just seek it out, go for it. And to Anne's point, don't wait, just do it, because they will need you and you'll miss the opportunity. That is
Absolutely.
great stuff. Boy, that's super great stuff. Um, oops, did I lose you?
No, well,
I think I might have just. I know. Let's
I
see.
still see you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going like it's going, and hopefully it'll pop back in. Um, so tell me about if you had a tip or resource for the students, or if it was connected to your book recommendation. I'm interested to hear how that goes.
Okay, so for the students, I don't know what kind of student you are, but I am the look ahead and worry about all of the units, all of the modules. I'm going to look ahead, and that module 8, even though I'm on module 1, I'm looking ahead at module 8 going, whoa, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to worry about it. And I can't do that because I've got to get module 1 done first.
Right. Right.
And so my advice to students is take one module at a time.
Mm.
Look ahead, work ahead if you need to, because you know the weeks that you're going to be busy, but just take it one at a time, because that teacher has designed that program specifically so that you will build to that.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to do module 8 at the very beginning,
Yeah.
but by module 8, you'll be able to do it. And I am sure that that teacher will give you the time needed and the resources needed. So that's my advice. Just trust the Lord, that the Lord has a plan and that he will guide you through those modules, because, there are weeks that are rough,
Yeah.
because most students at Veritas have other things that they are doing. Um,
Exactly.
so, you know that you're going to have rough weeks, that your ministry is super heavy, and so is your student life.
Yeah.
And the Lord will just give you that time. In some way, shape, or form. And it might be in the form of your teacher saying, you know what, I'm going to postpone that until next week. Or it might be in the form of your ministry saying, hey, why don't you take this hour? Or whatever. The Lord is just so good to be able to provide
And
that.
sometimes that takes the form of, boy, I really need to call this person, and I have not had the chance to do that. And then lo and behold, that person shows up at your classroom or comes
Yeah.
by you. It actually is organic, and you can check that off the box. And the Lord, that was such a godsend to be able to get those. And I love the analogy or the picture of, getting module 1 done before getting to module 8. It's like the lamp into our feet. He only gives us as much information as we can handle at this moment. So you got to finish module 1 before you
Yes.
move on to module 2. I love that. I love that picture.
Don't
That's such
jump
a
ahead
great.
in the dark.
That's right. That's exactly right. Don't go full into the dark. Yeah, very
um,
good.
my my tip actually goes together with my book recommendation, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, my tip is that you need to take care of your spiritual being
Mm,
and make sure that you are spiritually healthy and that you have a relationship with God before you can help minister to others and be the student that you need to be in all of that. My book recommendation is What Do I Know About My God by Marty Collier.
okay.
It's an old one, I think 2006 ish. It came out, but it is phenomenal. Changed my spiritual life.
Oh,
What
wow.
it does is it goes through the reasons that God wants us to know Him. And
Mm,
then at the very end, it gives a whole list of all of these references. And it gives you like a title, My God is Able. And then
mm,
it will give all these references. My God is all knowing. And it gives all these references. And what she recommends, and I did, was you start a notebook and you put at the top the title, My God is Able, and you write it out because as educators, we know that there is a different thought process that goes into physically writing it
mm.
than typing it or even copy and pasting it.
Good
Like,
point.
you can copy and paste it and it's not going to be anywhere in your brain. But if
Right.
you physically write it, that process of writing, thinking it, writing it, all of that, you process it differently.
That's
And so what I did was, and she gives several different ways to do it, but um, what I did was every day I would write one for
mm,
during my devotional time and just concentrate on that attribute of God every day.
mm.
So first one I believe is My God is able. And
Okay.
so all day long I concentrated on those verses that I had written and that my God is able. And what this does for you is it opens up your perspective of who God is.
Right.
And when we understand who God is, I like to tell my students, the more I know God, the more I love God. The more I
Mm,
love God, the more I want to serve Him. The
mm,
more I want to serve Him, the more I want to know Him. And it's a
mm.
circle.
This big
It's just
cycle.
a
Yep.
circle.
Yep.
And if we don't keep learning about who God is, because you could do this forever.
Hmm.
Just learning about who God is and digging into the scripture of who He is. The
Mm,
more we understand who God is, the more we can mirror Christ-likeness
mm,
and mirror it to our students and mirror it to our ministry partners and everything else. So my tip is don't let your spiritual walk suffer because of the busyness that comes with ministry and students, being a student
mm.
and everything else. Because if we let that suffer, then there's no way that we'll be able to um, mirror that Christ likeness to everybody else. There's no way that we'll get bogged down in ourselves.
That's right. And what a missed opportunity to be able to mentor those that you're ministering to. For instance, this idea of your reaching out to them intentionally, that will build such a rapport. They will be going from your institution saying, "Man, when I was growing up, I was having such a hard time, and this teacher met me here, and this teacher thought of me here, and I want to be like that." And you
Mhm.
don't get there without breathing in the grace.
Yes.
like if you've neglected your own spiritual walk, then that doesn't happen naturally. So, boy, that's good stuff. You come here to preach. You preached to me today. This is a Sunday service here. That's awesome. Um, okay, so that was your book recommendation. Do you have a favorite leadership quote that you want to share before we finish up here today?
I do, and it's a little odd for a leadership quote, but I'll
Yeah.
give you the reason behind it. Okay.
Sure, let's hear it.
Um, and here is my reason behind this quote. Well, I'll tell you the quote first. Quote is: "There is no true biblical change toward Christ-likeness unless life and its problems are handled God's way." That
Hmm.
comes from Change into His Image by Jim Berg.
Yeah.
And the reason that is the quote that I use all the time for leadership and for all of that is, um, as leaders, what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be pointing others to Christ.
Mm.
We are like the herders that are herding these kids or your fellow ministry people or whatever. We are pushing them towards Christ. Um, sometimes from the front, pulling them. Come on, let's go.
Right.
Follow that I'm leading because I'm trying to be like Christ and I want you to be sometimes too. Sometimes we're in the back pushing them, going,
Yeah.
"Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go towards Christ." Sometimes that's how I feel in class. We're going to push through, but
That's right.
that's how all relationships are. Sometimes it's a pull,
Right.
sometimes it's a push.
That's right.
But our goal should be ultimately to lead them towards Christ likeness, to point them towards Christ
Right.
likeness.
Yeah.
And there's no true biblical change. We want them to change. We want to change,
Sure.
but unless life and its problems are handled God's way, because life and its problems happen every day.
That's
It
right.
could be a bad hair day. It
Yeah.
could be something much, much worse,
Right.
um, much bigger. And the same concept always applies. That
Yeah.
so that's my quote that I
That's
use in
good.
leadership.
You have some real impactful stuff here today, really meaningful. And boy, it's really been speaking to me for sure to just slow down, the idea of like slow down and smelling the roses, but just seeing the people that are in your sphere of influence, just really seeing them and following Christ and how he would minister to them. That's rebuking to me. And I appreciate your bringing that because it does take intentionality and even just your strategies from the book about journaling and writing down those things. And boy, just really good stuff today. Thanks so much, April. I appreciate your jumping in today.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. And if you are watching and you are interested in taking classes at Veritas, maybe there is a little bit of you that thinks, oh, maybe I should jump back into classes. Be sure to reach out to us. Maybe you're in a bachelor's program and need to get into a master's, or like April, you need to get into our doctoral program, which by the way, April, you're finishing your doctoral program in the spring. Is that right? You're graduating in May?
Prayerfully, yes, ma'am.
Praise the Lord. So come and support April, come to our graduation. And we've got some others where we are very first doctoral graduating class. We're so excited about that. But maybe you need to be a part of our doctoral program. Message us. We count it a great privilege to be a part of your academic journey. It gives us no more pleasure. There's nothing we would rather be doing than to help you finish your goals. And maybe you just need to be a part of our free resources. Truth Matters Institute, which is a part of Veritas, has free resources that can be used for Sunday school material, for personal walk, whatever. They are there for you. So message us. We'd love to hear from you. Same time next week, we'll have another give and take Monday at noon. We'll see you there. I don't know what happened over here. I'm out now. It is what it is. So something happened in the middle where my video on the Facebook side went totally down. So I'm
Oh,
talking, I don't see anything. I hear you, but I don't see me or you or anything. And
oh
so
no.
I wasn't sure if that's what the other folks are seeing. We'll see when we go back and watch this video. It may just have audio from the half point. So anyway, then it wouldn't even stop. I pushed end and it's still rolling. So I'm like, okay, I'll just have to close that tab. Um, anyway, so very strange happenings with the technological side. However, let me just say, boy, I really, really appreciated what you brought today. It was so thought through and intentional, and it's something that I think it really speaks to me because we can get so busy. And I have found for my own self, I finished up the counseling program at Veritas 2 years ago, and with my second master's. And what I came out of that was like my own ministry to my children was so key. It was something, it wasn't like I was overlooking it, but it was something I came with new intentionality. And that's this, because well, I don't teach in the classroom, and I do with the theater program, I do have access to children, but in the busyness of life, what am I sharing with them? What am I teaching? What are they gleaning from me? What am I accidentally teaching them? And
Yes,
that is worrisome. That is very
yes.
worrisome. So that is such a boy, that is, I really appreciate you bringing that. That was really, really helpful to me. So I don't know who else will get the as as much a blessing, but I know I did for sure. So
Well,
thank you
I'm
for
so
popping
glad.
in. Yes, and we'll have to connect again. Um, Possibly in the spring we'll have another set of these that we'll schedule up. So if I have a if I have a free session and somebody can't make it, maybe I'll pop, maybe if I can see if you'll pop in real fast
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I know it'll take a little bit
Absolutely.
of navigating on your part, but I appreciate your doing that and taking up your free hour. So sorry about that, but thank you for
All
doing it.
good. All good.
Thank you. All right. So after this, we'll have you post to your page just whenever I mean, obviously, whenever you get a chance, and
Mhm.
then chat with those who popped in with us today. So
Okay.
thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
It was good to meet you too. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Yes, of course. All right. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.